Perfectionism is very tied to being black and white. Perfectionism in psychology is a personality trait characterized by a person striving for flawlessness and setting excessively high performance standards, accompanied by overly critical self-evaluations and concerns regarding others' evaluations. It is best conceptualized as a multidimensional characteristic, as psychologists agree that there are many positive and negative aspects. In its maladaptive form, perfectionism drives people to attempt to achieve an unattainable ideal. And their adaptive perfectionism can sometimes motivate them to reach their goals. In the end, they derive pleasure from doing so. But here's this part. When perfectionists do not reach their goals, they often fall into depression. You can't be a perfectionist and live in the gray because the pendulum has to swing one way or the other to attain those goals. There's no in-between or going with the flow. It requires great control to manage all that you're trying to be perfect at. There's no acceptance that you are where you are, and it's okay to be there. People will argue that there are benefits to perfectionism because you're striving to be better. But being better and being perfect are two completely different goals. What does perfectionism have to do with paleo? Everything. How many of you came into this diet and lifestyle and felt like you were born again? Maybe you told everybody who would listen, your hairdresser, your mom, the checkout girl at Trader Joe's, that you had found the way. You threw every grain, legume, and Butterfinger out of your pantry. It definitely was that way for me. I bought Vibrams, I started swinging kettlebells, I stopped washing my hair, I started doing the no poo method, I started a blog, because you know what? Telling everybody in public and in person is not enough. You have to take it to the interwebs. Even my blog name, Primal Balance, was born out of my need to balance my life. Early on in those paleo days, I worked so hard to be perfect at this diet stuff that I exhausted myself. I stayed up until all hours of the night preparing food for the next day for my family of 6. I mean, it was an exciting experience, but it also fed my all or nothing behaviors that represent the shame cycle for me.